You alright? It's episode 6 of the Cameo requests. There was a couple that were a bit sort of like say happy birthday to so and so for me and that. So again, I've just picked out some of the longer ones, obviously. And I think there's bits in these where you'll listen to it and you'll be like, huh. Yeah, I'm not expecting you to be falling about laughing all over the place, innit? But I think the best I can hope for from any of my stuff, realistically, is you might listen to it and sort of smirk weirdly at that girl across the way from you on the bus. You know what I mean? Or maybe you're walking down the street, someone's walking towards you, and instead of you looking down at your shoes, as you walk past them because you don't want to make eye contact, in case they try starting to make a conversation with you or try to, sell you some form of weird subscription service. You just look down at your shoes, but then you've got me in your ears being like, "Tigbiddy Dave." And then you just sort of smirk to yourself, mate, big little smile. But and you look up at them to see if they're looking at you, and you look at them and they look at you, and they're doing the same little smirk. And you notice they've got a little pair of AirPods in, mate. And you're like, "Excuse me, do you partake?" And you tap your ear, like 3 times. And they're looking at you going, they're sort of like pulling a face. I forgot you couldn't see me then for a second. They're looking at you, being like, trying to work you out, squinting at you and that. Still smirking though, still doing that weird sort of like jokery smile and looking at you through the forehead, through the top of their eye sockets. And you're like, do you? And you tap your ears again 3 times. Do you partake? And then you're being a bit more forthcoming with it, and you whip out your little World Around You's podcast sticker out your pocket because you couldn't decide where to put it. And you show that to them and give it a little flash and pop it back in your pocket, looking round over your shoulders to make sure no one saw. Because I know I'm some of yours dirty pleasures, You don't want to admit that you like me gear and that because people think you're weird for liking dead animals. And then the other person's looking at you with this smirk and they nod and they pull out the sticker, and then you can slap stickers off each other, swap earphones, have one in each ear and sit and chill and listen to that and share it, pass it back and forth amongst you, listening to 2 of my podcasts at once, one in either ear, and see if you can line up anywhere where I go on about extra dimensional entities, playing the old World Around You's Pause for Thought bingo, if you ever used to listen to them on Threshold FM. Anyway, I digress. Is the first cameo. So this one is for, I'll read it. What's your relationship to the recipient? It's a group of lads who I've been sharing your videos with, and we love them. The rat clackers, rat pencil case with sharpener in, the duck's feet. I joined you live the other day and we had a chat. Is it a pep talk for a specific condition? Just a group of long-term friends. What's the reason for the pep talk? Because you're a legend. What's something special about this group of friends you want Jack to know? We're a bunch of loser gamers riding into our 40s, still chatting crap in Discord and WhatsApp, loving your videos. We love the rat clackers, mate. Shout out to so-and-so and this other person if possible, please. So that's what I had to go off. This one's about 6 minutes long. It's one of the shorter ones, if I'm honest with you. We'll see what you think of it, mate. Here you go. Yeah, boys. I'm guessing it's Tigbiddy Davers. Or is it Tigbiddy Davids? So it says ain't no stopping us, but you want me to give a shout out to Biddy Dave and Lanky Jim. So when you say there's a group of lads, I wasn't expecting it to be 2 people. That's not really a group, more of a pairing. But I suppose maybe that sounds a little bit, people might be like, oh yeah. Tigbiddy Dave and Lanky Jim. Say, off together in the fucking, I don't know what games you play, but off hidden in the wilderness of fucking GTA. Hiding away, mate, in the trees in Red Dead Redemption. What are they doing in them bushes there? Fucking Tigbiddy Dave and Lanky Jim. But apparently these are a bunch of loser gamers riding into your 40s. Which, again, subtle terminology there, innit, eh? Riding into your 40s. Not to take the piss, I haven't got, there's not a lot to go off here with it. You're a group of lads who you've been sharing me videos with. Buzzing. Nice one, I'm glad you like them, mate. It's fucking, you like the pencil cases, so here's my pencil case. There's its sharpener. A pencil. Got a pencil over here. Yeah. So we'll break the nib off the end. Fucking, boys. Fingers in the way of the hole there. And you fucking get the dust away. And then what's inside there, eh? A fucking rat skin clacker, boys. But I've got something else to show you and all, mate. Yeah. Apparently you're using Discord, so I'm hoping you're going to join my Discord, the World Around You Discord, maybe liven it up a bit. There's not much going on in there. We've got someone who shares pictures of cats. There's me telling people about my podcasts and new things that I've put out. And then just random discussions, and every now and then someone comes in and accuses me of killing animals. But look at this, mate. That was a proper... See, that made it look like that was like a fucking... That looked like special effects act, didn't it? So, you know, you can't see it there. It's not behind me. But I'm like, oh, fucking change gun, mate. Fucking, there you go. It's a fucking toilet brush, mate, made out of a deer's leg and a bit of duckling. I thought that people would look after it more, innit? Because you go around to people's houses and the toilet brushes are a fucking state, mate. No one, you know, you'd think there'd be somewhere where you'd have in a house where you run it under the tap, innit? Because that bothers me, that. Because obviously you're not going to do that because you get shit and piss all over where you brush your teeth, wouldn't you? And have a shave, you get infections and that. But, I mean, I suppose you could spill it round in the toilet, I suppose. But it's not going to get it that clean, is it? It's not going to be as satisfying just swilling it in the toilet. You want to run it under the sink or in the shower or something. But then if you've got this, maybe you'll make more effort to keep it clean. You get one little bit of like shit on there and you're like, oh, I'm not having this. Get out the tweezers and you go into your girlfriend's makeup bag and get the tweezers out. Pour them out, and then you can just rinse the tweezers under the sink. Because if you get caught running tweezers under the sink by your missus or whoever, you know, kids or whatever, they're not going to think anything of it. But if you're there fucking spraying toilet water from the toilet brush all around the fucking bathroom, they're going to be going mental at you, mate. Oh, you've got that on my toilet brush again.
Dummy Mike.
Why the fuck have you done that?
Tidbitty Dave.
Oh, you're a fucking bellend.
Lanky Jim.
Do you know what I mean? Then fucking... What good's that to anyone? Then it's no good having a fancy toilet brush, innit? But you could also use it like if you want to go like laser quest but don't want to pay. And you're just like fucking running around going, you've just been brushed, mate. Quick brush with death. Fucking get swept, lad. Fucking flush this. Do you know what I mean? No lasers, just fucking environmentally friendly fucking laser quest, and you can go like that to reload it and be like bang. Or just fucking twat people with it, mate. Like a fucking melee weapon. Just fucking smack people with it, leaving weird like abrasions on their face. You'd probably lose a fucking eye though if you took someone's eye with this. It's all bristly and that, innit? Obviously it's a toilet brush. Sorry, I've lost myself here. You wanted to see something with duck's feet as well, mate? Yeah, I got this. I didn't read that far ahead, innit? Yeah, there's a duck's foot on a piece of wood. Here's an amalgamation with some duck feet. The water bottle. And here's another amalgamation with some duck feet. This is a new one called me Dead Winger. If you fancy them, they're on the website, obviously. I don't really have much else to say to you. I can't really knock yous, innit? I don't want to knock yous. This is a pep talk, apparently, so I'm not here to take the piss. I fucking go for it, mate. What do yous play? I'm going to presume yous play maybe a bit of COD, maybe a bit of GTA, maybe though. Yous are weird. That's maybe what the problem is when you say in your 40s, riding into your 40s and you're a bunch of gamers. Maybe you play some weird like Peppa Pig game, and you know you're doing untoward stuff on Peppa Pig. You know, like selling illegal bacon slices on there, just being like fucking chasing around other kids, the kids that are playing it, going, show us your rind, come on, show us your rind, you know, shouting stuff like that. Fucking get your belly out, mate. Fucking, you know, saying stuff like that to people playing Peppa Pig. I don't know if there is a Peppa Pig game. I got no idea. Have you ever played XCOM 2, mate? XCOM 2 is sick, mate. It's like a turn-based game where you fucking go after aliens and that, mate. It's fucking mint. That'd be my recommendation to you. Get on XCOM. Give XCOM a go. Or Total War, mate. I've been playing Total War Warhammer 3. It's fucking mad, mate. You get demons and monsters and fucking wizards. And then there's a group of like what seem to just be like Oriental people called the Cathay, which I think is something to do with China. But some of them can just turn into dragons, mate, and breathe fire. Which seems a little bit, you know, a bit on the line, you know what I mean? Where you're like, it's like, alright. But they can also summon massive terracotta monsters. But every time I get anywhere near being able to afford the terracotta monsters, I just get fucking ran through, me. Anyway, I'll fucking see yous in a bit, boys. I'm glad yous like me stuff. There you go, that's the first one. What do you reckon to that? Now, just in case it didn't make it as the name of the episode, just based on that one, the name of the episode is going to be Show Us Your Rind. Show Us Your Rind! Show Us Your Rind! Which would be good in a little song, and if anyone listening is a little DJ, if you want to make a little Show Us Your Rind! little something like have that in there, you're more than welcome, mate. Now feels like as good a time as any to tell you about my Patreon. Go and fucking sign up to that. You can join it for free for 7 days, which means you get access to well over 200 bonus episodes. Maybe close to 210 now, maybe more. It might even be more than that, I'm not overly sure. There's a lot on there though. And then after the 7-day free trial, it's £3 a month. You can join for £1 a month, but you won't be able to listen to the bonus podcasts. You just get told when the next Rat Pencil case is coming. Discount code for the canvases, video vlogs and the video versions of the main episodes. Not of these. I don't record these as videos because you'd just be watching me sit silently and every now and then just going, Tigbiddy Dave! Do you know what I mean? You don't want to watch that. No one wants to watch that. And if you do, then there's better stuff on the internet than that, innit? I mean, there's fucking decades of porn. You're going to get through at least a decade of porn before you want to watch me in a video sit in silence and every 30 seconds going, Tigbiddy Dave. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's just better things out there, so I'm not going to put this as a video. But there's stuff on Patreon that I think you'll like. You can now listen to some of them. Well, you can listen to all of the audio ones on Spotify if you've signed up to the Patreon, which makes it easier. But that's not neither here nor there. Sign up to me Patreon, you get discount codes for the website. £3 a month gets you in for everything. Any more than that, if you give me any more than that, you just get better discount codes really for my website. Use it for merch and shirts and things like that off there. Anyway, let's crack on with the next cameo, mate. Oh, obviously, if you want a cameo, the link's below. But let's crack on. Here's the next cameo. This one is quite a nice one, I think. I think this one's quite a positive one. There's going to be a lot of editing in this, and it might be hard to keep track of who's who. But this is from a father to his son, right? So the relationship to the recipient and his father. Yeah, it's the pep talk for a specific occasion. It's the next step in Tigbiddy Dave's career. What to? And I presume that's like what to do, what he should do. I don't know, they cut it off there, maybe they only get so many letters, I don't know how it works. The reason for the pep talk, done very well at getting a merit in his A-levels, which makes me think maybe, they're probably 18, not maybe 19. I think you're 19, you finish your A-levels, you're 18, aren't you, once you get your A-level results. What's something special about Tigbiddy Dave you want Jack to know? So, I haven't decided the fake names yet. He currently works part-time in Mackey's. He loves it and hates it all at the same time. He's got 3 siblings. A, who's 20 in construction. B, who's 16 and training to be a nurse. And C, is 13, loves football and TikTok. Could you mention him? He may go to university in a Welsh place. We'll probably change that as well. To study. He wants to do a TV and film degree. Could you help him decide his next move? He really likes movies and short, low-budget horror films. Likes to keep notes on his weird dreams. Do you have any weird dreams you could tell him about? He has an amazing head of lots of ginger hair. Okay, so we get a bit... We lose ourselves a bit there to the end. But very, very detailed, quite a lot for me to build on, to go from. So that's quite nice, isn't it? That's pretty good. This is a lengthy one here. It looks like it's about 12 minutes going off my audio software here. So strap in, because we've still got a third one after this. We are getting close to that hour mark now on these, which is pretty good. He wants to know about weird dreams though, so before we get into this, if you want to hear some of my weird dreams, and believe me, they're fucking horrendous most of the time, especially the older ones before I started trying to take care of my brain better and try and look after my head, before I realised that you're not supposed to have nightmares every night and wake up in puddles of sweat. When I didn't know that wasn't normal, because that's something that had been happening to me for a while. Not to lower the tone of the show, but I used to record them, not with like a camera. I'm not like a weirdo filming myself sleep, but I'd make a note of them and then tell people about them in some of the older Patreon episodes and some of the more recent ones. But they're nowhere near as gory or horrendous as what they used to be now. But I'd probably end up talking about that with this guy. Anyway, here we go. Right, Tigbiddy Dave. I start the videos now with that because the audio fucks up otherwise. It's good though, isn't it? It's a nice little big glove puppy made out of a fox's head. Your dad's asked me to get in touch with you, mate. He wants a little bit of a pep talk for you, a little bit of a like a well done, because apparently you got merits in your in college. You did tell me what it was. Sorry, one second. What was it? Just in your A levels. You didn't actually say what your A levels were. Which is about how I did, I think, really. I did 2 years of A levels. I got the worst marks the college had ever seen for anyone that had done all of the biology tests and all of the resits. Failed biology by terribly. Did very poorly at that. But now I cut up animals for a living, mate, so fucking what do the teachers know, eh? They also told me that I would fail biology, and they were right. But then there's a part of me as well that thinks, you know, was that them being like, oh, we don't want to be wrong here, you know, we don't want to look wrong, you know, show weakness to this lad here, because, you know, he's a bit weird. Do we really want to show weakness to him? What we should do is we should fucking, let's ruin his tests, change his tests. Maybe that's what they did, I don't know. But I'm a paranoid guy, innit, you know. I then did business studies, product design, or whatever else, I don't remember. Then I went on to do college again, mate. I didn't know I'd go on to college again. I did another 2 years of college after that for doing horticulture, a hands-on course, just fucking digging holes and building rockeries for 2 years, learning how to drive tractors and that, and use tractors and machinery and that, still saws and like stone cutting saws, man, it was good. So, you know, you don't have to think to yourself, what's my future gonna be? Because that's a pointless way to think, man. Like, the only people that really stress out over that, I've noticed as I've gotten older, the people that were very adamant of, this is what I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be this. They don't do it. The people that are cool in school and college and that aren't afterwards. They peak there, innit? The people that are really, really, really intelligent tend to, from my experience, only really end up being very good at academia. Once they step out of that and get a job or something, they're fucked. They can do that one thing, but that's it, man. So, I mean, it's good that you've been working in Mackey's, innit? Because that's going to give you loads of different skills, man. People skills and that. And I know that some people would be, you know, you must experience it where people might look down on you for working in there, but there's no reason to, man. You've got a job, man. That's one of the main, in my opinion, one of the most important things of a person. It don't matter if a person's, you know, as thick as pig shit or a social butterfly. It doesn't matter if they're really intelligent or really good at problem solving. None of that matters, man, as long as they've got work ethic. As long as they're actually, like, you know, happy to work, want to work, willing to work, and feel weird when they're not working. That's all that really matters, man, because they're the people that will do well in life and do better, and, you know, do better than the parents did, because that's the whole point of life, innit? You want to get yourself into a better position than your parents were in when they had you, so that if you decide to have kids, your kids can have a little bit of a better start in life than what you had. I think that's what's important, anyway. And, you know, if you was to ask
Sweaty Sid Joan with the limp and Big Ian,
they'd probably say the same thing. It seems like you've had quite a good start in life, though, really. Because
Sweaty Sid's
gone on to do construction, which is quite a well-paying job.
Joan with the limps
Going to be a nurse, which isn't a very well-paying job, but it's vocational, so she's probably quite happy learning how to do that and doing that, for now anyway, until the pressure starts to get to her. But, you know, maybe it won't, maybe she'll fucking thrive in that. And then you've got your what I assume is your youngest,
Big Ian.
He likes football and TikTok, so he's still happy being a kid and that. And you can still be a kid, bro. You've only just fucking left college by the sounds of it. And that feels massive now, doesn't it? That feels like the world's ended, because college is your, what would you call it? Like your umbilical cord to the world. And then some cunt just comes along with a fucking sword and a knife and just goes, off you fuck, go on. Off you go now. No one cares about you no more. Just fucking go, do your own thing. And that feels well weird, mate, for a couple of years. That I ended up going to uni, and I didn't even want to go to uni. But because I went to uni, I now do this as a job, because I misunderstood a university project and showed off to a girl I liked and ended up with a business that I'm now running full time. Fucking 6 years down the line since I made the first one of these, mate. So, you know, apparently you want to go to uni as well. You might be going to
Night school
to do
VHS rewinding classes.
Like, if you're passionate about it, mate, do it. But don't be doing it because you think that's something that you should do, or doing it because that's what other people are doing or out like that. Do something because that's what you're really into. It seems like you are, because your dad here is saying that you really like films and low budget horror films. So, like, why don't you? Well, you know, you could write your own, or maybe start a little podcast or something where you discuss them, or you take them apart, or where you, like, talk through your own ideas and that, of little ideas you've got for for shit horror films. Apparently you keep notes on your weird dreams, which is something I do as well. Sometimes I put them out on Patreon in what's called a daily update. They're not daily and they're not really updating you on anything, but it's just a useful name for that category of podcast on there. And I put them out as little podcasts. I used to have to write them down, bro, because I'm going to go and sit down. Because I used to have nightmares all night, every night, from about the age of, I'd say about the age of 13, 14. Until maybe I was about, like I'm 29 now, until I was about 26, 27. Just every night, mate, I'd wake up in pools of sweat and that, so I started writing them down and it did me head good. I've had mad ones, man. I discussed one the other day in a podcast where it was mad. Watching body parts grow out of propagation tubs, you know what you'd grow seedlings in and plant seeds in, just watching fingers grow out of there and that. And I always get chased by people and get attacked by people and watch people get cut up and butchered while they're alive and that. And it's horrible. I remember one that I had when I was a kid where I watched my mum, my dad, their best friends and their sons. I watched them all die of some invisible disease in a bed, and I was forced to sit there and watch it. So it's just weird dreams like that. I had a weird dream last night where me and an old school friend were treasure hunters, and we had to break into this big fancy house, and we thought that this fat little Asian lady, be the best way to describe her. I don't know what sort of Asian, just that's what she was, and she was in the house, but there was loads of other people. It was a bit like the film Rat Race, you know, with Mr. Bean and like fucking Rowan Atkinson, where he's got narcolepsy. It was a bit like that, but it was all set in this house, and we were trying to work it out. And then we tried to break out because they wouldn't let us out, and then we couldn't get out of it. And then we tried kicking the door through and smashing the windows, and as soon as you'd smash the windows, it would reset you about 2 meters back, and the window would be fine, or the door would be fine, like unscathed. So then we decided, fuck it, let's just trash the house. And we started trashing the house, me and my old mate. And then we started to find little clues and that behind the wallpaper and behind the paneling, the wood paneling and stuff. And we were like, this is it, mate. This is what we need. So eventually we found this torch, and we had to hold the torch together because there was no thread for the battery cover, you know, like a screw thread, like when the top of a bottle. It had that, but it didn't have a thread, so you had to hold it for the circuit to work on the torch. You had to kind of hold it like this, or hold it like that to keep it working, or with your thumb on the end of it. And then when you'd shine the torch, you'd be able to see the shadows of pyramids in the air around you. And then you could walk, if you walked through those pyramids, you'd come out of the wall of another pyramid that was just like a shadow form in the air that you couldn't see without the torch. And then eventually we managed to figure out that we needed to get into the loft of this house. But then the closer we would get and the more clues we would solve, the angrier this fat Asian woman would get. And she'd start chasing us and trying to attack us and that. Until eventually I was climbing through this little, I don't know what to call it, the shaft of the loft hole, the loft hatch. Climbing through one of them, getting all scratched by the paint on it, because there was really sharp bits of where it's been painted over and over and over and over again. And it made the hole small, but like sharp bits. And I was cutting my arms trying to climb through, looking for this prize, this treasure. No idea what the treasure was. It was like fucking like Pulp Fiction suitcase, I presume. There is no treasure. I never found out what it was. And I was trying to get that, and I couldn't get it. And then I start to climb down, and then the Asian woman's chasing me, saying, you got to leave, you've got to leave, you've got to get out, you shouldn't know this. So shouting all this at me, which is another regular theme. I get chased by people telling me you shouldn't know this, you shouldn't be here, saying stuff like that as well. I get that an awful lot. And so then I started trying to break out, and then as soon as I got to the right, we found the right door using this torch, and then with the pyramid on the door, like in front of the door, if you like. And then she sort of came and went, if you use that door, if you go through that door, you will, I think, die. But I don't think she said the word die, but it meant die. It was just like a word, but I heard it meant die to me. And then she told us that we needed to leave through the east wing. And then I woke up, sort of going like, like that. That's how I wake up from most of my dreams, bro. I had one a while ago where I had dreamed where I was going to it was like a Jurassic Park style auction, you know, like the second Jurassic World film of the new Jurassic Park trilogy, where they're auctioning off dinosaurs, where they were doing that, but it was for guns. And I was trying to buy some guns, and some other people were as well, and then I got grabbed and fucking thrown through a window. It's just, I've gone into my dreams a lot on there, man. You might enjoy it, mate. You might enjoy it. You can try it for free if you want, for fucking 7 days, you know, you're probably not old enough, you might have to ask your dad. You can sign up for you if it's a free trial for 7 days, fucking listen to them on there, man. But his fucking dreams are mental, innit? I remember one that stands out a lot, which wasn't that scary, was like I'm sort of sledging, but there's no snow. And I'm going down this hill and there's loads of sloths standing around, waving their arms in the air. And then one of them appeared really big in front of me face, like I'm looking through a camera like this. It just appeared big in front of me face, the face of it, and it just went, "The Jam!" And then I woke up going, like that from it. It was fucking, that was a weird one. But that's where I got the idea for the 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth book, weirdly. Because it pissed me off that they woke me up. So I was like, how can I fucking fuck sloths, man? So then I wrote the 50 Ways to Torture a Sloth book. But that's, I mean, I don't know what sort of dreams you have. But I've also been told that you've got an amazing head of lots of ginger hair. And I always wanted ginger hair, me. Because I wanted really tight, curly ginger hair, you know, so I could look like Kyle from South Park when he takes his hat off. But that's kind of what I wanted. I really wanted curly hair. But I didn't have it. I've got kind of straight, almost a little bit wavy hair. But it's down to here, man. I've grown it down here, mate. Fucking grub out your ginger hair, look like a nutter, you know, and then write fucking scary films, scary stories and that. I like it, man. I like the idea of scary stories. I like the idea of scary and funny stories, like combining the two in it. I think that's a proper, like, line where you can join those two things. But anyway, fucking well done with getting your merit, mate. I'll see you in a bit, man.
It was quite nice, that one, wasn't it, really? You know, not too silly. They're quite, like a heart to heart with the kid, you know, being like, yeah, mate, this'll fucking, how's this, how's that, you know. They don't all have to be mental and mean. Thought it would be a nice one to include. Plus, you get, got a good couple adverts in there on it for you as well, built in, baked in, mate. About the book, 50 Ways to Torture the Sloth, a little bit about the Patreon as well, you know. All sorts going on, mate. But they fucking, I don't know if they liked it or not. It's hard to tell if these people enjoyed them. We've got one more, and then we'll be getting off. That'll be it for the week, and I'll be back next Wednesday. But before that, let me find the next one. So not a lot of information for this one. They're a good friend and employee. She got cheated on by a partner, so it's quite nice that the boss is doing this for them, I suppose. It's a bit odd, but I mean, I had an old boss, you know. I went through some shit times when I had a boss, and you know, they cooked me a nice dinner and stuff at work and things like that, you know. So bosses can be nice, you know. Apparently they needed some words of wisdom, and something about them that they wanted me to know was that she makes vagina trousers out of our friend's pubic hair and looks after everyone else when they go through shit. So a bit weird. Again, not a lot to go off, but there's enough, kind of enough there. Purely with the vagina trousers. I mean, what does that even mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, what could that be? Is it a merkin? Did he mean knickers? Did he mean, you know, like underwear? It's a strange thing. But out of friend's pubic hair, like to make trousers out of pubic hair, I don't know, weaving all that together. There's not much. But she got cheated on. She's not happy. Hopefully this made her feel a little bit better. Here's your next one. And the last one of the week. Right, Tig Biddy Dave, Big Tom's
Asked me to give you some words of wisdom. So I'll try, innit? Because, I mean, if you've ever listened to me podcast, me Here's Hows, I would take any advice I give you with a pinch of salt, because I don't really understand where that line, like that metaphorical line, is supposed to be. Well, I mean, obviously your ex didn't know where that line was supposed to be. You know, if he's cheated on you and that. Not that I want to keep reminding you about that, but that's the specific occasion that Cameo has set this for. So I probably will keep reminding you about it. And if it does keep making you cry, man, I am sorry. And if it does keep making you cry, you can just rewind to this bit here to make yourself think of, you know, better times. You know, like when maybe you had something up your bumhole, you know, that wasn't belonging to your partner. Maybe that's what you need to do, mate. Maybe that's what you need to do.
Tig Biddy Dave,
Go out with
Big Tom,
right, and then go up to people in bars or in clubs, pubs, bingo halls. You know, somewhere where it's accepted. You don't want to do it like a tram stop or out like that, you know, down at the Met. But maybe go up to them and be like, "Do you want me to get me rat out? Come on, I'm going through hard times.
I'm going through hard times at the minute, you know. I'm feeling pretty down. Odds are, mate, actually, to be fair, if you go up to most blokes, if they're single, or maybe they're dickheads like your ex, maybe you could go and ruin other people's relationships out of some form of weird, misguided spite. I don't know. I don't know you as a person, innit? But I imagine if you bothered that he or she cheated on you, I'm assuming it's a man. But, you know, with a name like...
Jigbity Dave.
No. I don't know why that tickled me so much. So I don't know what I'm about to say in it when I'm doing these. I don't think this through beforehand. That's probably abundantly clear. I am just fidgeting with a chain. I apologise. This time's being paid for. Where was I going there? I don't know what I was about to say. Oh yeah. So I'm assuming that, you know, you must be bothered by this, because otherwise
Big Tom
wouldn't have paid me to do this. So that makes me think you probably don't want to be, you know, upset the apple cart of other relationships. So, you know, good on you. But you could probably sign up to a little website, you know, where you can find like a threesome finder or something like that. I presume those exist. You can find most other things online, and it's by, you know, looking for it. So I imagine you can find them. Do them. What you could do...
Tigbity Dave.
Now, I'm hoping this only applies if you're over 18, right, and you're English. Otherwise, it would depend on what other country you're in, whatever age is necessary. Either way, if you're of the age, right, get in touch. I'll send you a little link. You could start yourself a little OnlyFans. Quite lucrative. You've got a good friend and employee here in...
Big Tom.
But maybe you want to start a new business, mate. Maybe you all get into the porn game, you know. Make some dirty movies, make some dirty films, and then see if he or she signs up to it, you know, to see what's going on here. But if you get in touch with me first, I'll provide you a link, right? Tell you what we'll do, we'll get you right sorted out, mate. I'll provide you a link where if you use that link, I get 5% of your takings given to me through OnlyFans, so you don't lose any money from it. I don't know if this is unethical. This feels like it could be unethical to advertise this within this. But fuck it. We do that, and I'll help you out a little bit with your marketing and that. Would it give you some marketing ideas? You know, I'll try and give you some tips and that. I don't want to see anything. Happily taken. You know, I'm not into that. You know, not like your ex. You know, I'm a good guy. You know, a reasonably good guy. I mean, I chop up dead animals for fun, and if I don't do it for a while, I start to feel funny. So, you know, I'm a good guy for now, I suppose. A lot of people online say this is like watching the origin story of a supervillain as yet to be told. I don't really agree with that. But I will say, you know, and I mean this, get in touch, send me a message once you've seen this. As long as you're of age. If you're not of age, this is all a silly joke, ignore it. I presume
Big Tom
will watch this first and vet this. But if
Big Tom's
your employee, surely you're old enough to employ people, which means you're old enough to pay tax, which probably means that you're old enough to, you know, be an OnlyFans star. You might not be a star, you might not make any money doing it. It's always a possibility. You could sully your name and reputation, mate. I've probably made it infinitely harder for me to get a normal job by having an OnlyFans myself. There's no nudity on there. I'd say it's tasteful, but there's a lot of dead animals. And there's a lot of like bulge posting, I suppose is the term for it. Just in, you know, in joggers and that. But anyway, it's not about me. It's about you and your cheating ex. But apparently, I've got some stuff about you though. She's been kind enough to give me some information about you. I don't know what this means, but I'm hoping it means something to you. So I'm just going to read this exactly as it's written, mate. She makes vagina trousers out of our friend's pubic hair. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what vagina trousers are. Are they trousers that look like they've got labia? Are they trousers where you can never find the pocket? You're just there going, oh fuck it, I know it's round here somewhere. It's got to be. It's got to be here somewhere. It's normally around here. Is it there? Can you help me find it? Is it over there? Is it here? Is it there? You know, maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe, you know, maybe there's just one button in the middle. Maybe there's a big hole in them. Maybe you're just shit at making trousers. Maybe you're a seamstress, and vagina trousers just means you make trousers and you forget to do this seam here at the bottom. I've actually got a pair of joggers. Well, look at these. I use these for OnlyFans now because they fell apart. This is what I assume vagina trousers are. Look at that rip there, mate, right in the front there. So they're fucked. I can't wear them out and about around work, you know, just fucking walking around the studio with I have, you know, other people rent spaces here, so I can't be walking around in these, but they are quite good for the OnlyFans videos every now and then. Mix it up a bit, you know, bright red boxes on and that, stuff like that. But that's what some of the things you'd have to consider, mate, if you're going to make an OnlyFans, do you know what I mean? And even then, you could advertise your OnlyFans by making material. I'm not going to tell you, actually. Get in touch if you want to know that. And remind me, because I'll probably forget. I don't really remember the start of this. This is nearly 7 minutes long, mate, this. But another thing that she's...
Big Tom.
I'm presuming...
Big Tom's...
a girl, because, you know... Because you're a girl... But I might be wrong.
Big Tom.
Could be a boy's name. You know, it is a boy's name. It's also a girl's name. Doesn't matter to me. I couldn't give a shit, mate. I don't know either of you. But apparently you always look after everyone else when they go through shit. So I'm thinking this is
Big Tom's
way of trying to give something back to you. A very well spent, a very misplaced idea. I don't know. It could be a very well spent $9.75 or £10. I have no idea what I charge for these. Because it makes you it lets me set a price, and then you all pay something completely different each time, and I can't do anything about that because I can't figure out why or how. But that's not your problem. That's my problem. But if you become an OnlyFans person, mate, that could become your problem in the long game, you know. But eyes on the prize at the minute, mate. Maybe, you know, focus on yourself. People say, don't they? Exercise. What about going the other way? Sit on a couch, get fat as an house, and then get yourself a nice little feeder who's obsessed with you and keeps buying you Big Macs and that. Do you know what I mean? Like that seems like a better life than having to worry about going to the gym and stuff. Knuckle down in your work, mate. When my head's fucked, I like to come and open this freezer. You've actually sat on my freezer. There, see, there's my freezer. And I come into work and I cut open animals over there on that table there to make myself feel nice. And calm, you know, and normal. Well, normal for me. I assume it's not normal for many others. But it makes me feel nice anyway. That's what you got to do, mate. You got to find something that makes you feel nice. And then hopefully find a partner that sort of adds to that rather than becomes all of that, I suppose. I hope this seems heartfelt, you know, in a sense. Not that I'm putting it on. I don't like the idea that you're feeling grim. And the only way of pepping you up is listening to me speak. Because I'm a moron, bro. I don't really know anything, as you will know if you listen to the podcasts. I know a fair bit about aliens and dead animals, but I don't really understand people so much in it. And you might, I don't know. You know, there's multiple reasons, multiple things that you might be or might not be. But at the end of the day, mate, I imagine it's probably not your fault. Can't be too sure. But I assume it's not your fault that your partner cheated on you. I imagine they're just a bell end. Probably quite selfish, you know. And why not, mate? Why, you know, you could go the spiteful route, or you could be the bigger man.
Take Biddy Dave.
And make an OnlyFans. Or fucking, this is mad how much I keep going back to that. Yeah, I don't care if you do or don't, innit? I'm just chatting shit to you. Fucking, don't know where that went then. It's over there. Keep fidgeting, mate. Keep fidgeting. Because I want to try and give you that one bit of solid advice, mate. I've got nothing for you. Nothing at all. This is 10 minutes, mate. Bye.
That was a pretty abrupt end, wasn't it, that there? I think it was pretty nice, though, you know. I think hopefully I helped out Tig Biddy Dave there with their little dilemma. You know, and if you're thinking to yourself, what did I do wrong? Or like that, just, you know, order a Cameo from me, mate. Cameo.com/worldaroundyou. Join the Patreon. That'll give you some stuff to fucking perk yourself up, mate. Listen to all the other podcasts. Now, I have been getting a lot of nice messages, mate, about these shows. And I just wanted to say thank you, innit? I'm glad you're enjoying the shows. It's really nice that you are enjoying them. They were recorded a few years ago, mind. So I might not exactly understand the references you're sending to me. But I will be re-listening to some old ones because I want to sort out some promotional videos for them again.
like I did for the Here's How to Trick Your Dad into Leaving Your Mum episode, and for the Ghosts episode. I want to get a few more of those done. That's what I'm using the Patreon money for this month. I'm paying someone to make some videos to promote the podcasts, putting the money back into the podcast. So if you want to join the Patreon, patreon.com/worldaroundyou, you get loads of extra stuff, like I said before. Loads of gear on my website, worldaroundyou.com, and I'll even slip the discount code in the description below for Fat Pete's Prints. This episode wasn't brought to you by Fat Pete's Prints, but bollocks to him. He's a sound guy, is our Fat Pete. He won't mind giving his discount code out on a Wednesday afternoon rather than on a Monday morning. Do you know what I mean? Go and have a look at that if you fancy it. But yeah, don't be tight. Listen to the adverts at the end, mate, because that's where I can make a fraction of a penny. I'll fucking see you in a bit, mate.